Sharon, as we take you right to satellite radar, take a look right there. As we mentioned, Hurricane Isaac now already made landfall in Louisiana. It's moving very slow. It made landfall on the southeastern edge of the coast right there, and it's going to continue along the coast, moving only at about 8 miles an hour. That is very slow, considered to be very slow. As a result, we could see a lot of flooding with this storm surge, maybe even some isolated tornadoes, which usually could potentially get spawned from a hurricane. Take a look right here. You're going to see 80-mile-an-hour winds moving to the northwest at 8 miles an hour. We're going to have more on Isaac coming up in our local forecast. That's all in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right, thank you.
I was right.
You were right.
Thank you for the credit. Yeah, it did get hot, and it's going to stay hot, at least for now. Looks like tomorrow will be a repeat of what we saw today. As we get a look outside from our Mount Wilson camera right here, you're going to see mostly clear skies, a bit of cloud cover out there, but for the most part, we're keeping things clear, and we're keeping things mild to warm. 81 degrees, and that's right here at the broadcast center in Studio City. So as we get a look at temperatures outside right now, you're going to see a few 70s, a few 80s, even 82 in Valencia, 79 in Downey, 88 in Riverside, and over Laguna Beach, 78 degrees. High pressure is building into Southern California. As a result, we're above average temperature-wise. We're looking at plenty of sunshine, and there is some cooling on the horizon. So we'll show you when coming up in your 5-day forecast momentarily. Earlier today, we made it to 90 degrees. Average is 85, and record number is 99. So we were good 5 degrees above average, and by tomorrow afternoon, we're still average. We're expecting to make it to 90 in downtown again with plenty of sunshine, and everybody else in the 80s, 90s, even the triple digits. Santa Monica, a very warm 81 at the coast, 94 in Anaheim, and triple digits for the high desert, the IE, and the valleys as well. Woodland Hills topping out at 104 as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So let's get a look at your extended forecast. Your 5-day forecast is going to show you that very warm pattern over the next couple of days. 104 for tomorrow. By Thursday, we're still hot at 100 degrees. By Friday, we're cooling a good 8 degrees in a lot of spots, but still pretty warm. We're in the 90s. By Saturday, low 90s, and by Sunday, a little warmer, but not quite as hot as where we are right now. As we get a look at your next 5-day forecast, you're going to see that same pattern, very warm over the next few days, and eventually cooling as we head toward the later part of the week. And by the weekend, introducing a little more cloud cover into the mix for the basin and for Orange County. You'll see 90s turning to 80s, eventually turning to low 80s, and finally getting a look at your 5-day forecast for the coast. You're going to see sunshine over the next couple of days, a beach day tomorrow. We're in the low 80s at the coast. If you can get to the coast, it's a great place to be. By Thursday, upper 70s. By Friday, partly sunny. So we're looking at that marine layer in the forecast as we head into Friday. Morning clouds clearing by the afternoon. By Saturday, low clouds. And by Sunday, also looking at low cloud cover, but sunshine by the afternoon. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Gotta love that.
Sylvia and Lena, we are looking at a very slow moving storm right now as Isaac already made its way on shore in Louisiana. By slow, we're talking about 8 miles an hour. So that's very slow. And as a result, we're going to see potentially some flooding, already the case, storm surge as well. And we're looking at 100+ mile-per-hour winds. Those are your wind gusts. Sustained winds right now at 80 miles an hour. So still a very strong, moving to the northwest at 8 miles an hour. So again, barely crawling. It made landfall on the southeastern coast of Louisiana. It's going to continue along the coast, and eventually it's going to head inland. It could potentially spawn some isolated, tornadoes. That could potentially be a factor. At this point, we're expecting maybe about 20 inches of rain and about a 12-foot tidal surge right there. So we're going to continue to track Isaac for you as we move through the next couple of days. Isaac will continue to be a factor. But again, right now, Isaac is technically a hurricane, and winds are sustained at about 80 miles an hour, crawling at a slow pace of 8 miles an hour, prompting lots of flooding in the area. More on Isaac and, of course, our local forecast. That's all coming up in a little bit. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
All right.
Yeah, we are in for, very warm weather.
Right.
We're already there, but we are in for a little bit of a cool down eventually. What goes up must come down. So we're going to have the full forecast for you. We'll tell you exactly how hot it's going to get, when it's going to cool down. That's all coming up in a minute. First, want to focus your attention outside to our Sierra Camp, it looks like. And you're going to see a little bit of cloud cover out there. Other than that, clear skies and very mild to even warm conditions right here at the broadcast center in Studio City. We're currently at 80 degrees. So high pressure is building into Southern California. With that, above average temperatures, plenty of sunshine, and cooling on the way. So that's eventually going to get there. But for now, we're focusing on the warm up. It warmed up nicely today. Looks like we're going to see a pretty similar forecast for you tomorrow. 90 earlier today. today in downtown. Average is 85. Record numbers 99. We didn't get anywhere close to that, and we're not getting anywhere close to that over the next couple of days. Over the next 24 hours, upper 60s turning to upper 70s. First thing in the morning, already warm in the morning hours, and by the afternoon we're up to 90. That's going to be for the basin. You're going to see, well, Santa Monica getting up to 81, Anaheim 94, Riverside 102, and Woodland Hills you're getting up to a very toasty 104 degrees. So as we get a look at your forecast, you're going to see high pressure sitting over the Great Basin. It's starting to move west, and as it does, we're going to continue to warm up. We warmed up today. We're going to see more warming tomorrow. It looks like most of that monsoonal moisture is going to stay out of the forecast. It's just going to be warm, dry, even downright hot into our inland spots. And speaking of our inland spots, you'll see your 5-day forecast for the valleys in the Inland Empire, triple digits over the next couple of days. Then we're cooling down to the 90s, low 90s, and then mid-90s by the time we hit Sunday. We're going to have your forecast for the basin and for the beaches. That's all coming up in a little bit. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. Okay. And with your local forecast, we're warming up and then cooling down all over again. We'll tell you how hot it's going to get coming up.
Beautiful. So picturesque. Yeah, you want to take a painting, draw a picture of all of them. Okay, well, back at home, not so beautiful.
Yeah, it's picturesque. It looks picturesque with the sunshine and and the sunset was gorgeous.
Right.
But it doesn't feel that way.
No.
Yeah, at least for a lot of us that are inland. I've been getting a lot of complaints that it was a little too hot. So hopefully you like the, well, cooler weather, because that's headed our way soon. Until then, we're still dealing with more heat in the forecast, so we'll have the latest on that. 60s, 70s, and 80s, 85 in Palmdale, 77 for you in Downey right now. For us in Riverside, we're at 87. In Laguna Beach, we're currently at 74. High pressure building westward, so as it expands over Southern California, we're looking at above average temperatures, plenty of sunshine out there, but some cooling on the way. So we will tell you when exactly we're going to cool coming up in a minute. Do want to show you temperatures from earlier today. 90 was the forecast high in downtown. Average is 85, record numbers 99. Didn't get too close to that, but we did make it to the 90s, and we're doing it again over the next 24 hours, and that's going to be for downtown. 70s in the morning hours, very toasty. By the afternoon, we're up to 90 degrees. Santa Monica tomorrow at 81, Anaheim at 94, Palmdale 102, Riverside 102, and Woodland Hills getting up to a very toasty 104 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So as we get a look at your forecast, we were talking about high pressure. Well, you'll see it building over the Great Basin, and it's starting to expand west. As it does, temperatures are going to warm up. We're looking at more sunshine, warm to hot conditions, and that monsoonal moisture staying out of the forecast, at least for now. Maybe a slight chance of a thunderstorm or two in the mountains over the coming days, but again, at this point, pretty minimal compared to where we've been. The heat, though, not the case. Still very warm. We're talking triple digits inland. We're going to have those numbers coming up for you in a second, but we do want to start off with your 5-day forecast actually in a minute. We got some time for Futurecast. As we take you there, you're going to see 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. We are dealing with some fog in the forecast. Really not a whole lot, though. We are calling it mostly clear. We can't really even call it fog. Looks like we'll just see a little bit of high cloud cover out there. Nothing really getting in the way of the sunshine. Maybe a bit of moisture by the afternoon over the desert, but again, minimal as well. By 8:30 tomorrow evening, nice and clear, nice and warm, nice and dry as well. There's that 5-day forecast. We're going to take you to, well, the Basin and Orange County, 90s to 80s, and then by the weekend looking at a little bit of low cloud cover in the mix, clearing out by the afternoon. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, triple digits over the next couple of days, turning to the 90s, the low 90s, and by Sunday back up into the mid 90s, and finally taking you to the coast, low 80s for tomorrow. We're calling that a beach day. Thursday still technically a beach day. We're sunny, we're in the upper 70s, and then we're a little cooler as we head to Friday weekend, but by Sunday possibly bumping temperatures up just by a couple degrees. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. Well, Rick, we're taking you outside satellite radar, and we are looking at, again, heavy rain, storm surge, and even potential tornadoes getting spawned from the hurricane itself. As we get a look at satellite radar, you're going to see the eye of the storm approaching the coast right there. Of course, calm over the eye, but the eye wall right around the eye, that's where we're going to see some of the strongest winds. Right now, winds are sustained at 80 miles an hour, but we're seeing wind gusts even upwards of 100 miles an hour. The tidal surge could be up to, well, 12 feet right there. You're going to see maybe even up to 20 inches of rain, so very impressive. I will tell you, Isaac is moving to the west at about 8, or northwest actually, at about 8 miles an hour. That is incredibly slow. So as a result, we could see a lot flooding in the area. It's going to continue on land into Louisiana right there, sort of trekking along the coast at the moment. Isaac, again, still a Category 1 storm. So we're going to continue to track Isaac's path for you right now, making landfall, as we mentioned, just over the coast of New Orleans and continuing on over the next couple of days. Just to recap, 80-mile-an-hour winds. We're expecting 20 inches of rain, maybe up to a 12-foot tidal, and over 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So very, very strong storm out there. So, of course, we're going to have more on Hurricane Isaac. We've got more on our local forecast. That's all coming up in just a little bit. So don't go away. Rick and Sharon, back to you. And temperatures are warming up, but for how long? We'll have that full forecast coming up. Yeah, it was hotter and it's only getting hotter. But before that, we want to address Hurricane Isaac. This is video actually from New Orleans. Again, hurricane. It is a Category 1 hurricane packing winds of 80 miles an hour with gusts even above that, around 100 miles an hour. It is moving very slow at the moment, about 7-8 miles an hour to the northwest. As a result, we could see a lot of flooding along the coast already happening as we speak. About 20 inches of rain possible, possibly up to a 12-foot tidal surge and 100-plus mile-an-hour wind gusts. So again, Isaac is going to continue to churn along the coast and eventually make its way inland. So we're going to continue to track Isaac over the next couple of days. Of course, we're tracking our very warm forecast right here at home. So again, more on Isaac coming up in, well, the coming days. We're going to continue to track Isaac. At this point, again, making landfall as a Category 1 storm. Here at home, we're looking at very warm conditions. It warmed up very nicely today. It's going to continue to warm up as we head into the next couple of days. Looks like we do have a little bit of moisture out there. Nothing hitting the ground at this point, but a little humid in some spots and still very warm. 70s and 80s, 82 in Valencia right now, 83 in Palmdale, and Riverside, you're currently at 85. So high pressure is building into Southern California. As a result, it's above average. There's plenty of sunshine out there, but as we head into the later part of the week, we are expecting some relief from the heat. With that, your 5-day forecast showing you 90s turning to 80s for the basin, and for Orange County by the weekend, a little bit of cloud cover, that marine layer making a comeback in the morning hours. For the valleys in the Inland Empire, triple digits over the next couple of days. Cooling by your Friday, little cooler by your Saturday, and looks like temperatures are picking up a few degrees by your Sunday, but not quite as hot as we are right now. And for the coast, a beach day. For the next couple of days, low 80s, upper 70s by Friday. That fog is back in the morning hours, partly sunny skies, low 70s lasting through Saturday, and by Sunday picking it up just by a few degrees up to the mid 70s at the coast. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Nice. All right, thanks, Evelyn.